If you're trying to change parts of your life, you might be going about it the wrong way. All too often, we try to make major overhauls in our health, in our relationships, etc. But much like a New Year's resolution, these have a tendency to crash and burn. Maybe we can sustain them for a couple months, but we end up reverting back to where we started, or sometimes even farther behind, feeling dejected and like nothing works. In this video, I'm going to introduce the idea of average day theory. This theory is that to change our lives, what we want to really focus on doing is changing our average day in small, sometimes incremental ways that compound over time. See, we'll become the accumulation of our average days. Think of how compound interest works in finances. It's by putting away small amounts over a long period of time that you end up with a great retirement savings. Well, who you become 10, 20, or 30 years from now will be the accumulation of your average days. How do you eat on an average day? Move your body. How do you think? How do you relate to yourself and to others? These are the things that add up, that accumulate and become who we are. We're always changing, and when we make incremental and small but consistent changes in our lives, they net real results. So in this video, I'm going to outline a couple non-negotiables for the average day theory approach, as well as some first steps for you to make actual change in your life. So first, something that average day theory is not. Average day theory is not about grinding or hustling more or waking up at 5 a.m. You can certainly do all of those things, but it's not required. In changing my own life and trying all of these things, they weren't for me, and so I wanted to find another way. But average day theory does have some ground rules, and so here are a couple of the premises that it rests on. One is that we only ever live today. If you think about it, you only ever live today, one day at a time. That's what nature gives us, the day to work with. And so there is no tomorrow, there's only today. Recognizing this, we have to also acknowledge that when we put something off until tomorrow, we're essentially saying, I'm not going to do it. There are, of course, times when we're scheduling things for down the road. That's not what this is about. This is about making change and making meaningful change in our life and how to do it, how to make it stick, and that is using today. And as a sort of game of life here, average day theory rests on our own awareness of ourselves. This rests on the premise that nothing in your life happens without your awareness. Think about it for a moment. What's in your life that you're not aware of? There's nothing. And so we have to become better attuned to our awareness. Why? Because the game here is seizing on elements of change. Life around us is in flux at all times. And if we don't become more intentional, more aware of those changes, we're just going to keep repeating patterns. Our brains evolved to conserve energy. Over hundreds of thousands of years, we had uncertainty around when we'd get our next meal. And so with a brain that uses a lot of energy, it found ways to conserve it by running patterns and habitual responses to things. So although we don't have to hustle or grind, we will need some willpower, we will need some effort. If we don't make an effort to overcome our own habits and patterns, we're going to repeat them the rest of our life. These are the two ground rules: that change must happen today, and that expanding our awareness around ourselves and our intentional engagement with life is where change will happen. If you're ready to take action on your average day to change the life that you end up with, probably the most direct way to start this work is to start doing a small daily meditation practice. I'm going to explain why that is and then what to do. The reason why is, if we don't already have a meditation practice, this is going to help us build awareness of what's going on in our mind. A simple breath meditation makes us all too aware of how little control we have over our mind moment to moment. And so building up that awareness is going to serve every other part of our life. And the other thing is the commitment, a small daily practice. This is like flexing a new muscle, showing ourselves that we can commit to a small change and letting that change accumulate over time. So think about it. If you meditated for 5 minutes every day, but you do that for the next 365 days, don't you think something will change with the strength of your mind, your ability to focus, and your awareness overall? Absolutely it will. So the question is if you're ready to start today or not. Remember, today's the only day you have. So if you don't have a meditation practice, I would only recommend doing about 5 or at most 10 minutes at a time, because we have to do this every day and we have to make it manageable. Again, it's not about grinding, but it is about intentionality, it is about building awareness. To do this practice, all you need to do is sit somewhere, close your eyes, set a timer, and follow your breath coming in and out of your nose. You'll notice there's a slight sensation of the air coming in and going out. Your only task is to follow your breath. If you've never done this before, then this becomes a wake-up call to how little awareness we have over our running mind, and it will show you very quickly what some call the monkey mind. The game here is to start reclaiming these parts of ourselves. If we have a mind running rampant all day, every day, to the extent that we can't even sit with our eyes closed and notice when it happens, we're not going to have control over any of our automatic reactions, any of the ways that we're mechanically going through life. And so this small daily meditation practice both builds our capacity to start making changes and starts to flex that initial muscle that we're going to use every day. Set yourself up for success by making this a consistent thing that you do at the same time every day. You can do it when you first wake up. Just sit up in bed and go for it. Or you can do it last thing at night, or you could do it when you're at work as a little break when no one's watching. Take this first step. Begin reclaiming your mind. Start every day to become a little bit more aware of what it's doing, and you're going to build up a capacity that will serve you in every part of your life. In other videos, we'll discover all kinds of small incremental changes that we can make to our day that will accumulate into a healthier, happier life. But an awareness and intentionality around your own mind and what happens in your mental landscape is going to serve you so well that I really encourage you to start this practice today and make it a practice for every day.